Set your butane torches to high and your expectations to low. Coming to you live from Just the Tip Cigars in the hills of the Steel City. Get ready to get your fix. This is the Cigar Junkies Podcast. Welcome to the Cigar Junkies Podcast, a cigar show for the community by the community. A forum to talk stogies, booze, food, and anything else in the cigar lifestyle. If you're looking for ratings, negativity, reviews, or an authority on all things cigars, you came to the wrong place. Whether you like what you hear or not, please join the conversation and let us know by finding us at the Cigar Junkies Facebook group or emailing us at thecigarjunkies@gmail.com.
What's up, junkies?
Yeah.
Woohoo.
You know what's funny?
What's that?
Is that you looked like you were making a face at my face during the intro where I was doing my little dance and making a stupid face. And I turned the camera just in time to get your stupid face looking at my stupid face. It's a beautiful thing.
Perfect.
You know what I mean? That's what the video element's for.
Yeah, as it should be.
Absolutely. So yeah, guys, this should be an interesting one. I titled the show Cinco No Drinko. Which is just a damn shame, dude. This is my day.
It's tequila
day.
I mean, I even went as far to bring a tequila distillery here.
I know. And
you do that job thing instead. You're no fun.
Yeah, Jason sucks, dude. Like, you can't work in two departments at the same time. That's some BS, man. You know, like, broaden your horizons and stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm just gonna have to go home and read Tequila Mockingbird and then go to
Tequila
work
Mockingbird.
instead. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I've got to say it's a little disappointing. But hopefully we'll get these tequila people on the show proper.
Yeah, at some point, actually.
That will be scheduled for a day that I am not working.
Absolutely not allowed to drink just because it'd be so fun to watch you sit there and shake. You'll be all...
You got me today, bro. I got that today because I could use it because I drank a good amount of tequila.
Oh, you looking for hair of the dog at this point?
No. You know why? Because I drink Blanco tequila and I don't get hungover.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? People don't believe me, but like also I do temper as much as I go from 0 to buzz in like 2.3 seconds.
You work your way down. I
stay at buzzed until I'm ready to be done, and then I gradually work my way down, so it's not absurd. Yeah, that hand was huge. Yeah, that was the size 24 hand in the picture there.
I was thinking about because you gave me the one day way my hand was in the perspective. You were like, "Stop it, stop it."
Looked like Mark Hamill in Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. What was his name? Cock knocker.
The fact that they got Mark Hamill for it makes it so much better.
Oh, it was fantastic.
So much better.
Absolutely.
Well,
how was your week?
Damn. Beat me to it. That was exactly.
No coffee for you.
No. It's so close. So close. No, man. It was a good week. We actually not anything to report at all, which is a good thing.
Except for show content.
I'm completely just lost right now.
Well, nothing to report is great because it means your week was probably chill, but like, that's not good for...
Not for this side of things.
for show entertainment.
I mean, the only thing that was like special last week was, I mean, the event with Liberty Pool last weekend with Luciano went great. That was awesome time. This place was packed. So thank anybody who showed up. But then yesterday I had Ryan came in, covered for me for a little bit.
Nice.
So I could go down and have dinner with my family for it was my niece's birthday, but it was just like, hey, we have an opportunity to get together and actually, see each other. Let's do that. So that was a nice little change of pace.
I'm going to break the swear rule. Just one.
All
just
right.
One. And it might pass by the censors anyway. Because it's, it's a real word. It's a female dog.
Okay.
So I think you guys need just the tip shirts for in here. And yours can be one of your paisley button-down broke backs or whatever. Yeah. So yours needs to say just the boss, and Ryan's can say just the bitch. Ooh.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Oh, he went there. Yeah, that's all I got for my week. How about you? How was your week?
How was my week?
You had a show yesterday, right?
I had my that's the end of the week. Where shall we begin? Would you like to hear a tale about a boy that's larger than life, and he is not quite coordinated enough for his size.
Okay.
Of course, when he was small, he was not quite coordinated enough for his size either. But my boy, has better, phone to finger and controller control than he does anything else. But
yeah.
All right. So me and my kid have been riding bikes, which is great. It's something for both of us to get exercise doing, and it's also something to do together, which gets a little bit harder when your kids reach teenage years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To find a way
something to actually hang out with
other.
them.
Yes, that neither one of you hates is the key. So we were on the Montour Trail. We get on right down here.
Okay.
Right at the bottom of the hill.
Right at Cohen.
Yeah, well, essentially, yeah. So if you loop around, there's a parking lot down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get on there and we got to the end of the trail in that section. It's like 3 miles or something, and then there's a steep driveway that comes down for a parking area over there. And you have to kind of cross the street over to keep going on the trail. You know where I'm talking about? Okay, so we surpassed that mark for the first time together. Usually we just go back and forth on the flat. So we went up the hill, decided to explore across the street, see what the rest of the trail looked like, which was cool, the wood bridge and stuff. So we're coming back, yeah. And I had him go in front of me, going across the street and stuff, so I can keep an eye on him in case something happens.
Yeah, you can see what's happening.
Absolutely. So I saw some things. So we get to the other side, and we're going back down that hill. And my kid's like me, he hasn't ridden much bicycle in a long time.
Okay.
And has very little experience with, multi-speed bikes and all that stuff.
Oh, so he shifted going down the
hill.
No.
Oh. So he's going down the hill in front of me. And I was like, I hope he knows to control his braking because it's a pretty steep hill.
Yeah.
And he's going down in front of me, and I'm like, he's going a little fast. And I'm like, I think he's got it. And then I'm like, do I got it? I'm like, hold on to my brake, make sure I don't wreck. And so he makes it pretty much to the end, but he's still going straight. And I'm concerned because there's a guardrail. It's a 90-degree turn, and he's just going.
Oh, he's boogieing right at it.
Yeah. So he does start to slow down. And I'm like, okay. If he just makes the turn, and he starts to make the turn, I'm like, oh, his form looks good. Like he's gonna make it.
He's got
right?
this.
No, he did not have this. So he does a little quick one and then gets himself and then just goes into full wobble, and it's coming, and you're like, oh no. But and he bumps into the guardrail, and I'm like, okay, cool. He's just gonna come to a nice slow stop. Now he bounces off, and then full seizures back into it. And I'm like, at least he didn't go over and then he went flying over the guardrail. And I'm like, oh no. He's a big boy. It's a lot of kid to go flying over. And I'm like, please don't be a hill on the other side. Fortunately, it was flat. Unfortunately, he landed in a thorn bush. But your kids are young enough that that there's two possible reactions to that. Oh my God, are you okay? That's mom. And dad goes, you're fine. And I'm going, you're all right. And I'm going, man, I hope he's all right.
Yeah.
But he was fine. He enjoyed
it. My standard reaction to a kid falling, whether it be mine or somebody else's when we're at the park, is, oh, that was a good one.
Right.
And I do the exact same thing every time. And that way, for the reasons that you're talking about, kids don't freak out as soon as it happens. Like, if you're hurt, dude, you'll get all the loving, no problem. But, you got to actually be hurt.
Well, not only that, too, but, let them tell you if they're hurt. Don't tell them. You know what I mean? Because you don't want them to be scared. Like, they get worried. They think they're hurt. Then they're upset.
Yeah, then they're upset.
And so I just stick with that old principle that I've had, since they were little.
Yeah.
And it was good, man. Like, he experienced the lack of pain because of adrenaline. He was looking, he's like, oh, I'm bleeding. And I'm like, yeah, you're fine. He has scratches. And so he's like, oh, I don't even feel it. I was like, yeah, it's probably because your body is focused on the massive hip check that you just gave to that guardrail. And
so has he been on his bike since?
I'm trying to remember in what order because we biked 2 days in a row, and I can't remember which one was which. So maybe. But I can't remember which day we did what. But he's not afraid to. I mean, we rode back. I mean, he was fine. We had to make some adjustments to the bike.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He had jammed on the back brakes so hard that they wouldn't come back off. But his problem was, okay, so here's his explanation. He's like, I know if you go down a hill, you're not supposed to use your front brakes. I was scared I was going to go over. So he's only using his back. And I'm like, listen, once you use the back, once the back brakes are in, you can tap that front one and then eventually hold on to it. As long as you use them both at the same time, you just never want to go to that front brake first. I mean, and if you're going to go flying over a guardrail, you may as well went over the handlebars anyway.
Yeah, that's I finally got to, like, I guess I had a better week than I realized.
Morning, Dougie.
Monday. Oh, morning, Dougie Doug.
He's the first person I mentioned this morning. I thought he was here. There were icy delights in the trash.
It was the first thing you said to me. Like, was Dougie Doug here? I'm going to hit some of the comments real quick. Seneca said he pictures you profusely sweating riding a mountain bike with one of those pre-mounted water bottles filled with tequila.
No, it's a circle bottle.
Circle bottle?
Yeah, that's not a terrible idea.
That flavors his tequila for him. That's why.
That's right.
And then Eric said quality set design slips because he's not here. Apparently we forgot to do the sign, so heaven forbid. And Keith Kilburn, how you doing, buddy? So back to, I wanted to get through the comments real quick. Monday I took the kids out on their bikes, and I just didn't take their training wheels. I was like, hey, we're going to go ride bikes. And Charlie's been trying to do it. Talia's got it. Sammy just wouldn't try. So we got there. He's like, where's my training wheels? I'm like, oops. Dude, he goes, oh, I can't ride without it. Gets on the bike and goes. And I'm like, really, bro? Like really? First try, but I mean, they rode a lot on training wheels. And they have the adjustable training wheels that you slowly bring the height up so that they wobble more and more. And he hasn't been using training wheels in forever.
I got to figure out what the Spanish word for training wheels is, because that might be the name of my tequila brand if I ever get one. Because, they always offer, and I'm like, no, I don't need it. And that's a great slogan just coming to my head. Like, I need a bumper sticker Jesus is at the wheel or whatever.
Yeah.
Tequila is my training wheels.
So, guys were in here the other day. You said Jesus at the wheel. I had a tree I had to drop at the house, I don't know, 2 years ago.
Was he talking smack?
It tried. And I had a guy come in with stump grinder to grind everything out. But I had this one that the way it was leaning, it was like into the power lines, and I had it cut down like it was short, but I still had this 15-foot tree that I'm managing. Nobody's home. I have to get it done. So I take the truck and I put it in 4-low and I put a strap on it. I put it in the yard and I put it in gear. And I go over and I just cut the tree down. As I'm cutting the tree, my wife pulls in the driveway to see my truck and this tree just leaving. But she doesn't think anything of it because somebody's in the truck. All of a sudden, I drop the saw, shut it off, run down, jump in the truck real quick. And she goes, who was driving in the truck? And I was like, nobody. Dude in here, we were talking about it. He goes, hey, just tell her Jesus took the wheel. You got this, bud. I'm like, yelp.
In my mind, something went wrong instead. And so you're running for the truck and you're going, instead of take the wheel, Jesus, take the chainsaw.
Take the chainsaw.
By the way, can we rename people in the chat room? Because I'd like to change Eric's name to Stump Grinder.
To what?
Stump Grinder?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Pretty good. Morning, Keith Kilburn.
Eric said, ruedas de entrenamiento is training wheels.
Yeah, we can't do that.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of syllables when you're trying to get effed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're just going to call it training wheels.
Everybody just call it the rude stuff or something like that.
Yeah.
Can I get that rude tequila?
It's a rude one.
What? The rude tequila.
Rude is a good name too.
Yeah. Oh, I got to try out. Seneca brought bourbon in yesterday, a weeded bourbon. It was freaking fantastic.
All right.
So I was just trying to think of stuff this week that I forgot. I can't remember what the hell the name of it was. I'm sure he'll put it in the chat for us.
It's real funny because I asked you, how was your week? And you're like, I got nothing to report.
I got nothing. And then as we talk, it comes in. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to say it. I'm just breaking in.
Serve and volley, buddy. Serve and volley,
Yeah, man.
So, all right. So that was the beginning of the week. The close of my week was yesterday, which was a fantastic time. Went over to my favorite place to play so far, which is the Bottle Shop over in Heidelberg, right next door, conveniently to smoke. Unfortunately, you can't do both in the same residence. But nobody's perfect, you know what I mean? But had a great time there. Went just a little bit long. We started a little bit late because everybody was obsessed with some horses running around in a circle or something.
It was a thing, apparently.
Yeah, we had to wait a little bit before we could get started. And Technical difficulties were relatively minimal and not my fault. Some equipment changes were made on the other half, so Nick kind of pulled some fastballs on me, and didn't see him. But it was fun. We ended up getting through it pretty good. Great turnout. The people were awesome. Well, you know what my favorite part is? Like right toward the end of the second set and going into the third, is all the people that came to have dinner with their families and like have a nice night out are gone, and all the partiers are still there. So that's whenever people start responding, when you start calling them out on them, like, who's drinking, who's got to, that's when people get interactive with you, and I start having them.
You can play with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can actually do crowd work because the crowd's there for you now.
Well, even if they're not, they're drunk enough to be able to tolerate the sound of me now.
I mean, they've acclimated to, okay, there's a band here. We're not going to leave because there's a band here. All right, let's go. Because I've absolutely done that. Like, I've gone places and they've had a band, and I'm like, I'm not in the mood tonight. Like, let's just go somewhere else.
Yeah. And then, I don't think anybody is particularly against it. You just got a more chill crowd,
Yeah.
And then once the people that were left realized that there wasn't a bag of cats getting run over in the parking lot, I think they all settled down and were, cool.
Like, oh, there's words behind those noises. That makes sense.
Something like that for sure. So,
good show then.
Yeah, it was a great show. We had a good time. I'm sure we're going to be doing it again there soon, but we'll, see it. We don't have it on the books as of right now. Strum Junkies are next at the Cigar Box Guitar Festival, which is going to be June 15th. And speaking of which, we've got, a couple weeks from now, we're going to be having Dave and Louie on.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
I thought it was the 19th, but that doesn't seem right with the math on my calendar. I'm going to pull up here and have a look.
Yeah, May 19th is Sunday.
Yeah, it is the 19th. Okay. I just can't math.
Yeah.
All things considered, I mean, I managed to set up a show, get it live, do all the things, no technical difficulties after going to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. So, like, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, show, you want to, actually talk about what we're smoking?
We could do that.
Yeah, it seems like a reasonable idea. It's time for the Cigar of the Week, brought to you by Just the Tip Cigars. Are you looking for the best selection of boutique cigars? Do you want the tried and true legacy brands that are synonymous with the cigar lifestyle? Do you want luxurious cutters, lighters, and other accessories? Do you want to relax in the most comfortable cigar lounge in the burg? Then you want Just the Tip Cigars. Conveniently located in the Bavarian Village Shopping Center in South Park, Pennsylvania, Just the Tip Cigars has been tailor-built to your smoking needs. Whether you visit in person or on the web at justthetipcigars.com, when it comes to cigars, Just the Tip is the whole package. It's funny, I'm like bobbing and weaving over here, and you're just studying your cigar.
I was sorry. I didn't even think about it.
No, it's fine. The juxtaposition of like my goofiness and your intensity. I think that's what people come here to see. You know what I mean? Like, you got the straight guy and you got the slapstick guy, and
the combination of sorts.
What did Krusty say? The pie bit's no fun if the guy doesn't have dignity. You got to have a guy with dignity get hit in the face with a pie. Then it's funny.
Then that makes it awesome. Seneca said Ren and Stimpy.
Oh yeah. You stupid idiot. Man, I have a button for that, but I'm not well practiced in them anymore. And you guys prefer it that way. All right. The Just the Tip Cigar of the Week is the Rojas Street Taco Cinco de Mayo. This is a 6x50 Toro, which I've come to find out is the only size.
Yep.
They make this particular stick in. Wrapper is Ecuadorian Habano. Binder, Ecuadorian Habano. Really? Is that accurate? Did I paste the wrong thing twice? I don't think so. It's a San Andreas.
Yeah, it's San Andreas binder.
Yeah. So it's a bad copy paste, but I remembered at least, which is good. The filler is Nicaraguan and Pennsylvania broadleaf. Noel Rojas specializes in small ring gauge only, and that suits me just fine. The Street Tacos line has been very successful and includes the carnitas and barbacoas, in addition to the original. From this line, we get the walking taco, a tasty little treat of a cigar in each of the core lines blend, and of course the Cinco de Mayo, which we're smoking today, the only cigar you should be pairing with your tequila every May 5th.
Ooh.
Or, if you're me, every day.
You can have it with Monster and Circle again.
Monster and Circle. Circle to Monster?
Circle to Monster?
We double tapped the button on the camera. It was kind of weird. I was like, why is it me still again?
What are your thoughts on it so far?
To me,
honest, this is not my favorite Rojas coming in. I'm interested to see how it comes in, and after I get through the second half, I'm about just done with the first third. And for me, I feel like it tastes a bit underfilled. You ever taste that in a cigar?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that the blend is probably great. I'm thinking if I had, a couple more of these, probably I'd find a cigar that I'd like better.
Yeah.
And this one just isn't quite constructed the way I'd prefer. So
Now I'm getting a very similar. It's very light. Like it's, it doesn't feel like there's much to it.
it gives you something on the tip of your tongue a little bit. It's almost like a salty baking spice or something in there. I
The
don't know what it is.
saltiness, I agree with for sure.
Yeah.
And I look for
He
cigars
said-
that have that.
Which means the rest of what you said was BS.
Not quite. No, I enjoyed it. I think I said it before the show started. I smoked the pre-production version of it, and
Yeah.
it was a lot fuller body
Oh,
than
really?
this is. Yeah. As far as like quantity of flavor, smoke production, all that, it was a lot higher. But one, that had more age on it because it was pre-production. Two, I don't know that they changed the blend for pre-production to this, but I would assume not.
Is this the first year for this, or is this have they done this before? Because
I don't know. I believe this is the first year for it.
what I saw, or the impression that I got from what I could find, was that this is an annual limited release, which means the way that the wording was led me to believe that maybe you shouldn't expect the blend to be the same every year exactly.
Yeah, I'm curious on that myself because I don't remember hearing anything about a 2023 one. Now, being annual means this could be the first annual.
Absolutely.
So, there's that. I'm not familiar enough to. I'm not sure how they're doing the blends on it.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll change it each year. That's part of the reason you do the LEs is so that you can small batch it and not worry about matching it exactly the same every time.
Yeah, I don't know if they're necessarily going to go out of their way to tweak or change the blend, but you're probably going to see a little bit of a difference if it's small batch year to year, stuff like that. It's probably not going to be as consistent as like the Filthy Hooligans and stuff like that you normally have an association with.
Where it's the same every year. You know what you're getting.
Yeah, and to be fair, like that Candela covers a lot too, right? Like that barber pole, so subtle changes to that cigar aren't going to be as noticeable as something on this.
Yeah, the Candela, and that's definitely by far the forward note on that. I've been playing with them a lot more again because I'm not, completely blasted out of Candelas like we were last time.
We made it through the whole month, bro. I don't think we smoked a single Candela this year.
No, we did not.
We did them all last year. We smoked all the Candelas.
I think all but the Aladino because remember we couldn't get one in time.
Well, I know I smoked it.
I had
I don't
one,
think
but
we
I
smoked it
didn't
on
have
the
it for the show.
Yeah.
But it's just funny, like as powerful as Candela is, how different it is from each blender too. Like I don't know how much of that's the blend or how much is the seed they chose, like the leaf they chose. That's something I'd be curious to find out is which factor makes their Candela so much different. Like the Feathered Serpent, the Lucid Interval, and the Aladino Candela, those are three very different cigars.
Yeah, in the Aladino, it's funny, in pictures, you can't always even tell it's a Candela because it's a very light green.
Very pale,
it's a very light brownish green. And I know that Julio loves working with the Candela tobacco.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You got to figure too for a guy that's got a farm, like anybody that's tobacco farm, they want Candela is the best because that's their cash crop, man. There's no turnover time. You grow it, you harvest it, you sell it. That's it. You don't have to hold on to it and save up real estate and stuff for it.
You're not aging it
in and out.
Yeah.
So
I'd be curious to see
money.
what the actual process is with Candela versus like some of the others. Like I'm just starting to really try and learn about the process of aging them a little bit, and I'm so ignorant on it. It's crazy. Like I know a lot of what I've heard, but I don't understand it yet. If that makes sense.
It sounds like 90% of my day. Yeah. Sounds like somebody needs the Cigar Academy.
Yeah.
Ooh. I reached out to them last night. I sent an email.
Did you?
Over. Yeah, so we'll see if they
Oh,
respond.
you just sent it last night.
This week. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty recent. Like they have a contact us. I dropped the phone number and stuff.
Nice.
Just trying to get a little bit more info because it's a very intriguing idea. And I'm hoping maybe I could sweet talk them into being like, hey, if I update my progress, maybe they'll give me a scholarship.
There you go. Yeah, no, that's spot on. Dougie Doug asked if we keep a chart of the cigars we smoked on each show. We do now.
But it's not complete.
It's almost there though.
But we're working on it. A couple weeks ago, I put some time in.
Yeah, I did like 10 of them this week. I just like tried to hit like onesie twosies. But the way we titled a lot of them, like we didn't say what the cigar was in the title, so and I didn't remember.
Yeah.
So you have to listen to the episode and just like wait for it to come up.
Yeah, if we didn't put it in the description, we try to kind of standardize the way that we do it now to make it easier for us going forward. But ideally, we're plugging in that information before we even do the show.
Yeah.
So that at some point we're going to have repetition probably because of limited availability of so well I guess it depends on how far we go. We're only 116 shows in right now, so there's still a lot of other products out there.
We didn't we duplicate one of them on accident? Didn't we?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if I feel like Tabernacle might have been one of those, or maybe it was something that is Tabernacle one of the ones you were like, hey, we didn't do that yet, did we? And I was like, we had an episode called Tabernacle Time.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is 100% that conversation because I was like, ooh, I love that stick.
I don't think we've done the Habano. I think we smoked the original.
Yeah, you're right.
So I mean, we could still have another
Tabernacle Time.
Yeah, Tabernacle back in time. Oh, all right.
Yeah. I was thinking Tabernacle times 2, and you went Tabernacle back in time.
It's got to be something Tabernacle back in time or Tabernacle 2 Secret of the Use.
Let's get it. Either way.
It's better than Ivadu's, you know what I mean?
So what do you think? Like, so the underfill though, like, are you getting a good flavor profile that you're liking and just you're not enjoying the smoking experience of it? Or
when I say a cigar is underfilled, generally that means I taste it. It's not, I to me, this cigar tastes like I'm not getting the blend as it was intended to be.
Right.
With that being said, this isn't offensive.
Yeah.
This is for a free cigar. Absolutely every single time I'll smoke this, no problem. With that being said, I would need another free one to see if I was gonna bank,
right?
Put my money in on another one. But you're kind of in the same boat as me, which makes me a little hesitant. Maybe this is the way that the blend is intended to be, but if it is, I don't think it would be something that I would shoot for all the time, which is fine, because every other Rojas cigar is
good.
I wish I had the camera on.
I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you didn't.
Just big ball of smoke.
Yeah, and it just lingered. It didn't move.
So we forgot. There's another part of my week that I failed to mention because it just happened a couple days ago. It's wild. So if you're coming up my driveway into my garage door, my trash cans and stuff sit to the right. There's kind of like a protrusion for the front entry to my house that comes out.
Okay.
And the deck and stuff's there, right? So there's that little corner wall for the foundational block, the cinder blocks and stuff. So I come home from work. I don't think it was yesterday, but 2 days ago, and I'm looking up at toward the garage door, and there's like 50 bees flying above like my recycling can, and I'm like, okay, there's two possible. That does not look like bees going after something sweet, but maybe, maybe a swarm came through. I don't know, but I'm like, I'm getting there's a nest vibes,
there's a nest happening,
which is super unfortunate, right? So, there was a lot of figuring out because my garage door is the primary entry point into our home. Like, you can use the doors on the side in front of the house, but we generally don't because the garage is right there.
Yeah.
As far as I could tell, we had a nest so there's a wooden frame inside of the garage door, the molding around it, and then the block next to it, and some gaps have opened, and I think they have gotten in there. Now, the most unfortunate part of this is they were honeybees, which you do not want to harm if you can help it, right?
Yeah, you want to avoid that.
We tried searching. Doesn't seem like Pittsburgh has a honeybee rescue, at least not one that'll answer the phone. There was a number we found, and we called it a couple of times, and it stopped ringing and just went quiet and stayed connected. There was no voicemail message. There was nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, I can't be having the liability of people going in and out of the house and getting attacked by a swarm of bees every time the garage door vibrates. So you got to figure something out. So the last time I had kind of tried to gauge it. I was inside of the garage looking out the door and like messing with the door to see if I could like stir up to verify that's what was happening. And then there was many, many bees. And so I'm like, close that door, close the basement door, go and, go up around to try to look from outside and see where they're coming in and out of specifically. And then we get, the spray to put in there later on and stuff. We get home and put the spray in. And I waited till night so that it would be chill and I wouldn't have to worry about getting attacked, right? So go out there, spray all the stuff. Didn't see a single bee come out or anything. And I'm like, did we get them? That's the problem, right? Or how many did we get? You don't know.
Yeah, what's left?
Right. So it wasn't until later on that I go into my garage, having not been in there since the afternoon, and I open the door, and there's bees everywhere. Now, fortunately, it's nighttime, and they're all not flying because it's nighttime, or they're just so exhausted from trying to figure out how to get out of my garage and back to their buddies, but they're just crawling on everything. A lot of them are just sitting, but there's somewhere between 30 and 50 bees at least, and it's just like
peppered everywhere.
Yeah, peppered everywhere. Like on top of my music bag and stuff, and it's like, man, I gotta like find every single one because I don't want to reach into my bag on the show, get zapped by a bee inside of this place. It was wild, man. So like we tried to, all of those ones we would like scoop up and put outside and, try to be gentle with and not harm. So, activity has died down a lot.
Yeah.
And what little is left, we can't really tell if it's like still a remnant coming from the nest or it's the guys that were not at home base that were like out on a tour of duty coming home and going like, hey, where'd everybody go?
They're all dead. They're all dead. Oh, dude, that sucks. Dealing with bees is such a pain because you don't want to be that guy, but like,
it's so wild because I hate every other type of bee, like wasps, carpenter bees.
You would happily get genocidal on them.
Yellow jackets. Oh, me and yellow jackets have had some battles.
Battles.
We've both have wins and losses. It's a pretty even spread. But like, I got a little PTSD when it comes to that too. So it's like you don't really want to have to go back. Like I thought we had a truce. You know what I mean? Like that's where I'm hoping we stay. But honeybees is like, oh man, I don't want to mess with you guys, but I can't have you living in my wall either.
You need to go.
Oh.
No, I didn't get it.
No.
Was there a reference I was supposed to get?
You made it. You said you can't be here. You even enunciated the B, and I thought, he's going for it, and it went right over your own head.
Dude, it buzzed right by me.
That
one I got. That one was terrible. That was, and I'll take it. Dad
terrible.
Jokes for days,
terrible.
buddy. Terrible. That's terrible.
Oh, no good. So yeah, it's been an interesting mixed bag of experiences, as life always is. But yeah, it's been all right. So
yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, I've never had honeybees in the house. I've been lucky on that one. Like, we haven't had to mess with them. But the rest of them, spray foam, dude. I spray foam them every time. I just fill the nest up. I'm like, all right, that's that. We're done.
That's my ambition. But I've done that with so our outdoor kitchen area. I built my own little roof above, and the beams, carpenter bees have started to dig in them every year. And so, like, we'd try to spray them, wouldn't always be able to get them or whatever. And so I've filled the holes with foam before, and they just dig right back through.
Yeah, with the carpenter bees, they did.
Because they're eating wood, that foam's like, this is easy, I guess.
Let me just move this out of the way and keep going.
Right. So the plan is, once I am relatively certain that I have everything narrowed down and stuff, maybe we got another type of spray also that has a straw to like go in the holes and stuff.
Actually get in there.
Whenever I did it, I wasn't even 100% sure I was spraying in the right area.
Oh,
right. Yeah. And so I just unloaded 2 cans of wasp spray into the crack until it started foaming back out. And
you're like, hopefully I got them.
Yeah. And so, we figured might need a little bit more or whatever. And then I got a couple of cans of, actually the Great Stuff makes pest foam. Foam specifically for like insects and stuff like that to take care of. So hopefully that'll
The carpenter bee one, what was the trick we did? Because our house in Mariana, we had a problem with them. I mean, they were everywhere in the deck. We had you had to go through, make sure the hole was empty, and you'd stick steel wool in it.
Oh yeah,
and then wood putty over it. That was our trick.
Shannon got a little trap for carpenter bees.
Oh, nice.
It's like made out of wood with holes drilled into it and stuff, and it's like they can get in and can't.
They
get
crawl
out.
in, but they can't get back.
It's like a little pricey. It's like $20 for this little thing. It looks like a little itty bitty birdhouse or something, like birdhouse feeder.
Does it work though?
I don't know. We haven't put it out yet.
Oh,
we only got it the other day. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought that was a longer term issue.
Yeah. So driving here today, right? You drive through. I have to drive through the park. And those of you that aren't familiar with this area, like it's a nice county park, you know, and they have bicycle lanes and a walking lane and lots of swing set style parks all along, you know, the couple miles in between there and here. And it's nice, right? And there's often, you know, people walking their dogs or jogging or riding their bikes when we're going back and forth. But in the morning, I'm coming over here, especially on like a rainier day, rainier weekend. There's not as much activity. But as I'm getting to the end of Corrigan, there's just one dude out there, no shirt, running.
Getting after it, yeah.
I'm looking at this guy like, that's not fair, man. Like, this guy looks like Rocky. And here I am. So here's what amused me by it. Because I look over at this guy and see him running, and I hear the dun, 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 dun.
Yep.
And then I like kind of had an out-of-body experience and took a look at myself from the same perspective. And he's out here running, looking good and being healthy. And then there's me sitting in my truck driving with a cigar in one hand, and the monster sitting right here, and the big burrito from the gas station that I'm eating on my way over. And it's like, yeah, my background music is just like some guy playing the tuba, like dum 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 dum.
I'm picturing the Peter Griffin scene.
Mm-hmm.
Would you stop?
Yeah, let's follow
Stop
the fact.
Follow me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We were not the same.
Well, I watch these guys and I'm like, man, the fact that you're getting out there in the rain and getting after it, good for you. I'm not doing it. I'm not going out there and running in the pouring down rain, freezing. I did that. That was the military thing. I'm good. We covered that.
I have like a philosophy on that. First of all, I'm married, so you know, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be was the goose or whatever his name is from Willy Wonka, whatever. I don't know.
Gustavo?
Something like that. There was a reference there. It was like, man, you look like the. Yes, I am him. Anyways, so where's I going? Help me.
I don't know. You have a philosophy.
Philosophy, okay. So it's a dangerous philosophy, but as I said, I don't feel particularly the need to try to look incredible. I'm not trying to attract a mate, right? I like to try to keep myself relatively presentable and usually fail. But my thought is like, all that gym working out, all that, you know, work people are putting into that, having that physique, and if you enjoy that, that's cool, right? Because like you're doing what you like to do. But as soon as you stop, it's gone. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you can be like, okay, I could take a year off and still, you know, maintain any of this. Like, as soon as, or as soon as you hit a certain age that you can't put the same effort into it, like, eventually, it's finite, right? Like, it's going to go away. And so I'm like, you know, I'm not that, because no matter what you do, eventually time's going to catch up to you, and you're not going to, and so you're going to be one of those guys, I used to be strong, blah, blah, blah. I could have did this. I could do that now. I'm like, man, I used to be strong. You're stronger than I am now, and now I'm not. And it's fine.
Well, and that's, like, I want to go to the gym or ride my bike or something because I'm not getting the physical outlet that I'm used to. For me, it has, like, it's nothing about physique or any of that. It's sleep.
Yeah. Go
to the gym, you sleep better. Like, you just general do feel better, but you got to get through that 2 weeks of this sucks before you can start to feel any better off of it. As much as I despise it, because I don't understand the gym, like what to do when I'm there. So I just end up doing cardio anytime I go.
Well, see, that's the thing for me. Like, I'm not saying exercise is useless or pointless. like I'm riding the bicycle. Like I have an interest in exercise for health purposes, but for trying to reach some certain physical appearance or something like that. You know what I mean? That's where I'm kind of like,
yeah, but
I'm less invested in that.
Like my thoughts are, if you build it to, I don't know, if you build yourself up to a certain level, when you come down and you're going to come down, you're coming from 10 to 8 as opposed to going from 5 to 3. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to reference it, but you know, because when you come back down, it's going to get you inevitably anyways, but at least when you come back down, you'll be
you have more time to get back on the climb. You're falling down more branches, so you have a better chance of getting
catching a grip on the way.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're probably even more disappointed if you're like fell from a 10 to an 8 than if you fell from like a 4 to a 2, because you're like, man, it's not like I was that great.
Yeah, I guess I don't,
because you worked so hard to get there. You know what I mean? And like it's like, oh man, I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe my testosterone levels are just dropping, and I'm just not
as
just competitive.
Like I don't care.
Like I'm not as competitive as I used to. Like I don't need to walk into the room anymore and feel like I'm the toughest guy there. You know what I mean? And there was definitely a place, especially I had the short man syndrome a lot in a certain time, and it wasn't. I don't think I was a turd about it. It was just I wanted to prove like I could do it too.
Small but mighty kind of thing.
Yeah, just because I'm small, don't think that I'm limited and I'll outwork you.
Right. Yeah, you were fighting that game the whole time. Nah, I don't know. I like. Sorry, Seneca's comment.
We drive Rams.
That's why we drive Rams, buddy.
That's right.
That's
right. Team Ramrod.
Is that the official small man truck, or is that?
He's just is that what it is? Yeah. I thought it was just because we didn't want to run in the park.
Two things can be true.
Yo, I'd be okay if they wanted to put like a donut dispenser in the center console. Like there's 2 sections, so we could do like donut storage in one area and a humidor in the other or something. I'd be all right with that.
What up, Mikey Kazor? How you doing, buddy?
Anybody? I'll bet he doesn't have a shirt on. Anybody want?
Read Seneca's comment. He went
Michael. Shirtless Mike.
He went shirtless Mike right off the bat, and then you said it immediately following.
Oh yeah.
I agree. I don't know. I guess at this point I just want to get some physical outlet whatsoever. So like even running in the park sounds good, and I hate running.
I've been advised by doctors not to, so there's that.
Yeah,
which is kind of nice, really, because I'm
like, I can't go running. Why? Doctor told me not to.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to, man. It's bad for me. Good for you, bad for me, man.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Can't go.
Wow. Nah. We're doing pretty good here. You know what I mean? We're like 42 minutes into this.
Yeah.
And we haven't talked about the cigar news yet, so we could do that.
Knock it out, bud.
It's time for the cigar news, brought to you by the Strum Junkies. Of all the acoustic acts in Pittsburgh, we're one of them. Here we go. I'm not going to mute you. Even with the headphones on, I refuse to mute. We don't want to step in that pile of stuff again. All right, here we go. Eladio Diaz Cigars, the brand owned by legendary blender Eladio, I'm assuming Diaz, is releasing the first regular production cigar before and after. Arango Cigar Company will distribute it in the U.S. market. It recently debuted at the trade show. Diaz has been in the tobacco and cigar industry for over 50 years, as are most people with the name Diaz. He is best known for his tenure working at Davidoff Cigars. In 2021, he opened his own factory, Tabacalera Diaz Cabrera. Most of the factory's focus was on private labels and third-party cigars. Now Diaz is set to release before and after as the first regular production. The name is a nod to Diaz's legacy in the cigar business and plans to carry the legacy into the future. The Eladio Diaz Before and After features an Ecuadorian Corojo wrapper, a Dominican Habano 2000 binder, and all Dominican fillers. It'll be offered in 3 sizes and 20-count boxes. EP Carrillo has announced, I know how to say that one, damn it, has announced an extension to the Encore brand, the Encore Noir. The Noir is a line being released in primarily in the non-U.S. market, but there is an allocation for the cigar to be made available for events in the U.S. It'll be an annual limited release. The idea of the Encore Noir was to deliver a cigar in a round format, but with a darker wrapper. It comes in one size known as the Majestic 2. which is a 5 3/8 by 52 Vitola. Features a dark Ecuadorian wrapper over Nicaraguan binder and Nicaraguan and Dominican fillers. The cigar is produced at Casa Carrillo in the Dominican Republic. Cigars are presented in 10-count boxes, 2,500 to be shipped outside the U.S. An additional 500 for the U.S. are being made. There's actually another line extension for the Encore as well. I don't remember what it was. I think that one was like definitely not in the U.S. So like apparently Carrillo doing a lot in the European and Asian markets. So I decided to admit that one.
Yeah, we'll come back to that because that's actually a good conversation I had here the other day. Is the European market thing?
European all over yourself. Yeah. Okay, so this next one is my favorite part of the news for this week. General Cigar Company has announced Punch Dad Home Movies. That's right, they're at it again for Father's Day, another limited edition. They killed it last year with the dad bod. Check out the packaging. I'm going to put it on the screen for you. This is the picture I set up ahead because I love it. The Father's Day themed release for 2024, Dad's Home Movies, are packaged in 10-count boxes resembling 1980s VHS cassette in a sleeve. Isn't that cool as hell?
Oh, it's fantastic, man.
I love it, dude. So comes in one size, a 6x50 box press Toro, which is nice to get like a normal size this year. Although that dad bod was great for the price point because that was like a great, shorter smoke.
Yeah, and they were $7.
Yeah, like for a reasonable price, you got a reasonable amount of cigar that was actually good and quirky and funny. I thought that cigar was just a home run, and I smoked quite a few cans. Yeah. At least a 6-pack. These are produced at the Hatsa factory in Honduras. Dad's Home Movies uses an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Nicaraguan Condega binder, and 3-region Nicaraguan filler blend featuring tobacco from Condega, Esteli, and Ometepe. So it's going to be a little spicy. A little bit of spice on that one. All right, so finally, I almost never include St. DuPont stuff in the news because there's so much of it. And I think for most of our audience, and definitely for us, it's way outside of our price.
I'm not buying that.
Like, we can't get this stuff. This is like, the people buying the DuPonts, you get a couple of the cigar geeks that do it, but for the most part, it's the guys that know nothing about cigars, except for they want the expensive one. And the pretty lighter to go with it. What's cool, though, this time around, it's Game of Thrones series of accessories that debuted at the PCA trade show. So there's like all kind of different stuff going on here. Obviously inspired by the hit HBO series Game of Thrones. Probably not like coming out at to ride the height of that wave.
Yeah, maybe missed that just a little bit.
Maybe they should have went with like House of the Dragon because like that at this point has a little bit more appeal than the way that they crashed and burned that series.
Absolutely destroyed it.
But the base collection are available in 2 options for the lighter and cutter, fire orange and ice blue. Here's I'm going to give you MSRPs here, right? All right, so the line 2 lighter, $18.95. Woof. The cutter with stand, which I think might be the one that actually looks like. I think there's a rest that looked like a throne. That was like what drew my attention. It was pretty good. So the cutter with the stand is $2.99, which is, I guess, reasonable compared to the other stuff. A large ashtray for $5.25. That might have been what the throne was for that one. That's a expensive ashtray right there. And a 3-cigar case for $3.95. That means you're spending more than $100 per cigar to carry them.
Dude, it's insane. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wish I could sell them here, but there's no way.
I feel like you'd need to just have one to like have on display. Like that'll never sell.
Just to have it here.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, you guys like DuPont? Check it out.
It's like if you buy one, I can afford to buy another one.
Yeah, then I can replace it so that I can have another one sit here.
It's like walk in here in December. Sam, why is it so cold in here? I bought a DuPont and nobody's bought it back. I can't afford to pay the heat bill.
It was heat or rent. Thanks, DuPont.
We chose the ping,
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, good times.
Sorry, I looked up, tried to look that up real quick on my phone just so I could talk about like how cool it looked. The throne does look awesome, but I see what you're saying. Like you're not sure what's the ashtray, and
Yeah, did you see it?
yeah, that definitely looked like the ashtray was the throne, and then there's a gold holder, and then the lighter looks like a stick lighter. I don't know what to call it.
Let's see if I
understood it correctly. But yeah, no, I mean, as anything that they do, it's over the top. Yeah, there you go.
Let's see if I can.
Yeah, see if you can grab it.
Yeah, you can go ahead and take the attention for a moment.
No, I like
see what we could do.
I mean, I think the way looking at it, once you guys can see it too, it looks like the lighter's sitting to the left of it in the image, and then the stand is actually sitting on the ashtray as a separate little piece there. So that's slightly different. But yeah, that's. I don't know. As far as accessories go, I mean, we've talked about it before. I'm not an accessory guy.
Yeah,
you know, I don't much care about the ones I carry. But that being said, if I was like at events more often, if I was out and about, I'd probably want a nicer lighter. You know, pull out a suit jacket, click. You know, there is something to be said for that ping noise when you know, here, let me get that for you, kind of thing. The coolest thing I saw when I was at PCA is they actually had one of the DuPont's side striker soft flame, but when you would take the side striker and you'd actually push it in, and it would turn the soft flame into a jet. So you'd have a single jet, or you could have a soft flame. It's the only lighter I've seen like that did both, at least that I can think of. Is there any others that you know of that do soft and hard flame? Hard flame.
So there's a one of the Vertigo angled torches does both, which is nice because you can do like a pipe lighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you could go soft flame for a pipe going into the corner, kind of.
I looked for that
the
one,
other way around.
and I didn't see it in their catalog.
Yeah,
so
I have one at home. It doesn't look like it would be soft flame, but it has like a baffle adjustment for the thing. So
you can switch it over.
yeah, let's see. I think I've got here's your Game of Thrones.
There she blows. Yeah, for anybody who hasn't seen it.
It's slick looking. You know what I mean? I don't, much like most of the stuff in the DuPont line, hard to justify spending that, you know?
Where's the, I don't see the cutter in it at all. Like, that's the one thing I'm completely missing.
Yeah, let me see. Take a look.
Yeah,
here.
it's.
Oh, I think this is it here. Hold on.
Gotcha. Oh, there you go.
I believe it is this.
Yeah, that makes sense. So,
oh, there you go. Here we go.
There it is.
Yeah.
So that's fire, and then the light blue is ice.
I imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like
comes with pens and everything.
And there's a lot going on.
The display, and that's the ashtray.
There you go. So you got your cutters there, and
cutter / rest.
Yeah. We can kind of
and then that style there's your $600 ashtray. So
what was the throne thing? Is I guess I'm not here.
I think that's a display.
Oh, maybe it's not the rest or whatever. I don't know.
Oh no! Wait, scroll back down on that. The next step on the. Oh, so that's more accessories. They have an egg for you.
They've got the knife that they used to kill whoever it was, and it's like, I assume, a letter opener.
I like the way that it even, like, it says on there, as is often the case with prestige items like this, there's also a writing set and so yeah, I think it was letter opener, all that.
Ridiculous, yeah. Stationery set, only $22,000.
Yeah, and Eric just said it best. Yeah, I just picked up a match. Like, I'm good. I can. Ta-da! Look, fire.
Eric. I'm reminded of the country song, Eric. You say it best when you say nothing at all.
Why, you just went all in on that one, huh?
Yeah,
just full.
You say it best. It
so,
pops in my head. It comes.
Is it developing at all for you?
No, I don't know. I don't remember which one of these is the one. I think it's
the one that doesn't taste like a vintage Rothschild.
I can't see the color match me. Hold yours up so I can see this.
They're too close, bud.
Is that the same shade?
It looks the same.
All right. We'll find out. I can't remember which way I rotated the barrel of the ashtray whenever I sat down, so I'm not sure which one's the Dino and which one's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, because they are about the same diameter too, right?
Yeah, and currently they're about the same length. So
yeah.
What are you thinking? How about on your end? Obviously, you've got questions, but do you have thoughts? Do you have answers?
As an everyday smoke, I think it'd be good. Like because it's the middle of the road, it's non-offensive, it's not hammering away at anything.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I honestly I didn't even pay attention what the price point is on them. But I mean, keep it under or around 10 like the rest of the taco line, and I'd say it's worth it all day. You?
Yeah, it is getting better for sure as I'm getting in here. I'm starting to pick up like a little bit of a smoky kind of barnyard flavor aspect to it, and I'm wondering if it is the Pennsylvania broadleaf that I think I'm getting that distinct with the underfill kind of
You're
vibes
getting that
I'm
sensation from it?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. Like I said, I'd have to go at it again on another attempt just to verify like what's caused by the blend and what's caused by that. Here's the thing about that. Even once I get that flavor on a cigar, it's never going to go away. You know what I mean? It kind of stays with it, even if it develops and builds and
You just can't
better.
get away from it.
Yeah, so I'm not even entirely sure if it's maybe just a particular part of the blend that I'm picking up on or what, which is why I'm suggesting that I definitely need to smoke another one before I could arrive at like a solid conclusion. This is not what I would pick up anything else out of that line first, but just because I've had so many wonderful experiences and love all those other cigar wines so much. There's not a single Rojas that I'd ever shy away from.
Yeah. I mean, it's one you would definitely go back to and all that. It's a okay. I'm just gonna throw my cigar in the ashtray there. That was nice. That was interesting.
Happens.
I had to go for a relight because we were chatting too much and I didn't give it enough love. No, I will say construction on it is perfect. So, which from him I expect it. I don't, it's not. It doesn't surprise me. His construction's always perfect.
I will smoke anything Rojas makes forever until the day that he like makes like a 660 or an 880. Maybe not a 660, but like something big, too big. 770 is where I'm going to draw the line. If he ever does anything that's 70 ring gauge or like a 64 full inch ring gauge, I'm going to be like, all right, like you've strayed too far from the path, buddy. I'm done. As long as he stays in the profile that he's in now and stays in that lane.
That's small ring gauge, easy for anybody to grab a hold of.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And there's, don't get me wrong, every once in a while I'll have a larger cigar that I'm like, this is great. They blended very well to the size.
To the bigger size.
But generally speaking, unless a blend was specifically created to be in a big format, I'm usually going to like the flavor of the smaller cigars better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, I think the Geeks has a tendency to go toward the wrapper unless you're, going Lajero heavy or whatever. So
with the Ferriotega Suma, that's one that 100% is better the bigger it gets. Like the Corona Gorda, I have them in there. I don't even put them on the shelf. I feel like everything that makes it a great stick is just missing from that.
Yeah.
Then the Robusto is good. The Torpedo is fantastic. And then the Gordo is just next level. So, it gets better as it gets bigger ring gauge, which is so backwards from so many others.
I mean, that just goes to tell you probably like whatever the filler is better than the wrapper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you just got to look at that blend and go, clearly, I like whatever is in here. And like, see, it's a double stuffed Oreo. You're like, no, give me all the stuff. Like, I'll take the stuff. You don't even need to give me.
I don't need the cookies. Just hook me up.
I just need something to hold the cream with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, spoon would work fine. Just, No, it's odd that I like a bigger ring gauge in anything because I do find them uncomfortable too to smoke.
Yes.
Even like 56, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't really want to try it. I have one back there I need to try, and I'm like, they sent it to me in a 58 ring gauge. I'm like, man, like any size but that, please.
I'd like to see more companies experiment with like not going full torpedo or like Bellicoso, but to taper like from the band out. Like if you're going to go up to 60, try to get down to 56.
Yeah, by the time it gets to me.
Like you don't have to go like a full taper, but give me like a little bit of an adjustment just to make it a more comfortable mouth sensation.
Yeah, so I can enjoy it.
But I mean, there's something to be said there too with part of the characteristics of those bigger cigars is having more space to draw from.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got more opening. But I think the people that are going to those blends are not going there because they want that big wide open channel because they think the flavor is better. I think most people go there because they have an association of value.
Yep.
Or maybe status, you know what I mean? They're just listening to that Johnny Cash song over and over. They're drinking coffee and smoking big cigars.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So bigger's clearly better, right? Not in my house.
We've beat this horse so to death on the show, but I understand people buying Gordos. I've had a time where I was buying Gordos, but
yeah,
when I was buying them in Gordos, I heard that the sizes change flavor. So like everything I'd buy in a Gordo, I'd get it in 3 sizes, and I'd smoke 5 of the Robusto,
sure,
and 1 of the Gordo, and be like, all right, I don't even want those now.
There were cigars that there were blends that I found, like you said, I was trying to kind of say, well, how's it different? And you'd say, hey, this is the better one, and I'd pick up a box of them. You know what I mean? Or I felt like I got more time out of it, or whatever it was. And I just needed. I wasn't looking always for the most incredible cigar. It was something affordable that I liked, that I was going to get a good value or a good amount of time. And so it's like, hey, is this cigar going to get me to West Virginia on my drive in the morning?
Right? Is it going to get me the time I need? Yep.
Which is why everybody, why you go to the Digger. You're like, that'll get me through half of my trip to
I'll
Texas.
be good.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Still happy I didn't smoke that.
I think that you probably would have hit a point where you probably were like, I'm just don't want to keep smoking the same cigar, and you might have felt like you were wasting it. But I do think you would have been like, oh, I think you would have given this cigar a little bit, put it up a notch. You would have been like, oh, this is better than I thought it was going to be.
I was just talking to one of my regulars the other day. He came in, he started with JFR Maduro 660s and 770s. Like, that was it. And real quick, he's smoking Lanceros now.
Nice.
But he was saying, he's like, you've only given me 1 cigar I didn't like. And that's when I was like pushing him to see like where his tolerance level was in strength. And the one he's talking about was the Neanderthal. And okay, like, PA broadleaf hit him hard, all that. Cool. Okay. He's on that side. Well, then he went in the other day and grabbed a Neanderthal again. And I was like, hey, bud, like we've been down this road. Don't go after that again. You made that mistake once. He's like, I already opened it up. He's like, it's on me now. He's like, I'm going to try and smoke it again.
Well, maybe he's advancing in his journey.
Well, now he grabs them regularly.
There you go.
And it's only over a matter of 3 months. Sure. He's gone from, basic Maduro, keep it simple, to he's chasing the Neanderthal. He's, specifically grabbing certain Lanceros that he likes better than others. Like, he grabs the vintage Lancero pretty often.
Yeah.
And it is, it's one of the creamiest Lanceros in there, but it's not like Rosa Sharon creamy. It's a unique stick, and he's starting to pick out those different things. It's been fun to watch from my side. Like, all right, I kind of lit a match and got him going and trying the different flavor profiles. But he's all over the place in size. But he's already like, I don't like 660s anymore. He's, in a matter of a couple months, he went from that's all he was smoking was big ring gauge, getting his money's worth, to 50 ring gauge, stop there.
Well, what's interesting too, I think, is there's a correlation there where, at least in my cigar journey, and probably I think in yours as well, you hit a place where you realize the value isn't necessarily dictated by how much tobacco there is, because when you're smoking them bigger cigars, I think probably you're more aggressive, maybe, and you're not appreciating it as much. And
very much so.
Maybe oftentimes it's not the primary thing that you are doing.
Yeah.
It's a secondary thing that you're doing. And I think that, generally speaking, as you start to go, okay, I'm going to go to smaller because I like that blend a little bit better, you're going to enjoy and savor it a little bit more, and you're going to find that you usually get about the same amount of time out of it anyway if you went from a Gordo to a Toro.
Yeah, if you're hammering on it, the Gordo's the way. Like, and I've told guys that. I'm like, you're smoking too fast. Like, oh, this cigar keeps going out on me. It's giving me problems. I'm like, dude, I can see, like, ash is this long and pointed, and it's still all orange. I'm like, dude, you gotta slow down, or we need to go up in ring gauge. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, you can keep smoking that speed, but you need a cigar that can handle that heat, and like what you're at isn't working.
When your cherry starts to look like a Valyrian steel sword,
right? It's just like that crooked. Did you ever get that where you get the stem that's like, it stays on there like this long, and you're like, how? Like,
you usually you got some heavy Lajero in there, and you're just shooting at it too hard, and it just doesn't burn as fast.
Like you going at a Camacho Triple Maduro, just I'm gonna knock this thing out.
Fuck!
You were doing good.
You took me back to a place where I felt green for a second. I really did. I was like that.
That was so uncomfortable.
Yeah. You ever see like drive past a restaurant that you've had food poisoning at and just go
every single time I go by Moe's.
Oh yeah,
I got it from their queso one time.
For me, see, we're good because mine isn't there anymore. But over in Bridgeville, where the Chuck E. Cheese is, there used to be a CC's there. and we loved CC's because
everybody loved
it was
CC's.
like it was all you could eat pizza buffet. You know what I mean? And we were broke and had little kids and stuff. But we went and we all got food poisoning, and we have one bathroom. And so that was a bad experience.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not. You do not want to be in competition. Who gets the toilet? Who's in the bathtub? And
who's got a trash can they're hovering?
Right, or who's just staying off the carpet?
Yeah,
it's kind of
scooching.
Get outside,
All right, best pizza from CC's. Go.
I can't remember.
Mac and cheese, bud.
Yeah,
it was surprisingly awesome.
I can see that.
The mac and cheese pizza, and then they had that barbecue one that was gross. Seneca's with me on the mac and cheese. The barbecue one, they always had the big spiral of barbecue, and it was just way too much barbecue sauce on it. Yeah, way too sweet.
It was nice to have options. You know what I mean? Like it was not just like the all you can eat, but there's like all these different. It wasn't like there's 30 little Caesar pepperoni pizzas on the counter.
Any kind of pizza you could think of, they tried it. I'm sure they had peanut butter and jelly pizza at some point.
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time.
Where you at?
There it is.
You got Ross dancing over there.
Yeah.
Sorry, Eric, you missed it. He said sorry, Eric, same time I did.
That's funny.
So
one of the reasons I'm looking forward to the big 3rd of July party that I'm playing at this year is actually because there's a recipe that I found on Facebook like late last year in the summertime, and I've been wanting to make it as like my take with me dish to somewhere. You know what I mean? Like you go to a cookout, an outdoor thing or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like so excited about it. It is jalapeno popper potato salad.
Oh
my God!
It sounds good.
So good. And I'm like, all jacked up to make a big old tray of it. And
I think you should actually do it on a Saturday and practice run it here at the shop Sunday, and like just see the reception of it.
That's not a bad idea. I'd be all right with that, especially because I'd like to come up with, I'd like to just rip off the recipe blatantly, and apply a name to it. Like maybe make the slightest little change to make it my own, so I could claim ownership, and then give it like a junkie's name, so that I could put like a little sign on a toothpick inside of it and have the logo.
Jalapeno junkie.
That's something like that was what I was kind of coming up with.
So, hey, test run it in here, bud, because I want to try it.
Pitter patter.
So how you doing the poppers?
What? There is no popper.
It's
just that's what they call it, because you've got jalapenos, bacon, and cheese and all that stuff mixed in.
Cream cheese, all that. Yeah, dude, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, shredded cheddar, bacon, jalapenos, all that stuff, and like the potatoes. The way that the potatoes look cooked, they kind of look like they're almost a little bit of a crispy little cube.
Okay.
Before you add the mix in.
Yeah.
It just looks really, really
Dude,
good.
All right,
so a nice little crunch in there sometimes.
I prefer jalapeno poppers without the breading anymore. It used to be like it was, the breaded ones that you get at every gas station or whatever. But I started making them on the smoker.
Okay.
And just all that smoke in it without the breading.
Do you bacon wrap them?
What's that?
If you give me the option, give me a bacon wrap.
So what I do is I cut the pepper down the middle, like through the stem and everything. The stem ends up being a little handle for you. And then I do cream cheese, cheddar cheese, bacon, mix that together, and that's the filling for it.
Oh, that
so there's
sounds
bacon
great.
in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ends up, and they're so simple. I mean, and sometimes I make them and they're fantastic, and other times I don't give it a whole lot of love. And then I made a bunch of chipotle pepper back, I don't know, years ago, and I've been out of it for a long time, but I would sprinkle them with that, which is just smoked jalapenos. So
There was a point last night. So, we've talked about today even. I'm relatively good at controlling my intake on alcohol, right? And, I'm just, there's something nice to be able to just holler out on the microphone, like, we need more tequila. And, like, it ended up being a bit, Nick kept that, because I was like, hey, man, they have another bottle here. Like, if you guys want to drink what I'm drinking, it's 21 seed cucumber jalapeno. And so I'd be like, man, I need some more tequila. How about you guys? And Nick would be, how many seeds is it? 21. And like turned into like this, Bill and Ted kind of thing or
just
something.
goofing around.
Yeah.
Nice.
But there was a point when I had taken about one of the double, I was a double, and I drank about half of it, put the glass back down. And right as I put it down, I was like, oh, that was the last one. I think was the stopping one, but it didn't kick in until I drank that one. And they were like, ooh, all right, you're going to have to hang out there for a while.
You got to wait for a bit.
And I'm just going to hope that I didn't overstep too far. Yeah. So when this one that I just downed hits me, I hope we're still good.
I might need some water this time.
Like, I got like 3 or 4 songs left. And I'm drinking out of the Circle bottle all night.
Yeah.
With whatever I'm drinking after I finished my tea when I got there and crap. And But yeah, there was that, uh-oh, are we okay?
Did I do? Okay, it's not too much. I'm coming up on the end of mine. What are your final thoughts on it?
Improving for me as I get to the end, which makes me believe if I did a repeat, I'd probably enjoy it a little bit more than this one. I still don't think this blend is going to be my favorite, but that has a lot to do with the fact that I like a really full-bodied cigar usually.
Yeah.
And I think this is a touch milder than a lot of his other stuff.
Yeah, I'm compared to the pre-release. The pre-release was my favorite of the Street Taco line. Like, it was better than the Barbacoa or the Carnitas for sure.
Yeah.
This one's not to that same level. Still very good, right on point with them, like we've said. But no, I like cigars that give you that salty thing, and so I'm enjoying that aspect of it a lot. And that's something that in the other ones I had, it didn't really have that saltiness to it. So I'm curious what's different between this one and the other ones that I had. What all would be involved in that? You okay? Did we lose you?
No, you're good, man. I'm so sorry.
I just zoned, like, I just watched you completely leave the room for a second.
I was taking the opportunity for a change where you were talking, and I'm like, oh, he's got this for a minute. And I was like kind of trying to look at the chat room and see what was going on.
Sorry.
So that I could see if I could acknowledge him. And then you're like, called me out and says, hey, stop paying attention to the junkies at home and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
and so it's like,
whatever.
Well, you got to pick one, man. You either got to let me read them or you got to read them off more often so that I'm not missing out on what's happening.
The only one I missed was
Shannon supervising.
Well,
there's Eric says something at the bottom about we could have the Strum Junkies play at the festivities, and I was trying to determine what festivities.
He was talking about doing a junkies picnic.
Oh, well, I mean, you would have to. You couldn't get anybody else to play at the junkies picnic. You have to have junkies, right?
That would be weird. Yeah. Trying to outsource the junkieism. When you have an in-house, why bother?
So something I experimented with last night, because I've been at the bottle shop a couple times. Some of the people there obviously know me from the podcast. And so I was like trying to embrace the what's up junkies and calling them junkies thing. And I was like, it occurs to me in that platform where you're in a public space with people that might not be there to see you,
that don't realize
know who
you
are, may not be comfortable with being referred to as a junkie or understanding exactly what I'm referring to. And I was like, all right, I think this experiment's going to be kind of over.
This is a one-off.
Yeah. I don't think this is the way that I'm going to go. Like, we'd have to be pretty popular, like
to be able to
I think you'd have junkies. You'd have to get to at least like the Clark's level, like local famous, to be able to be like, raise your hand if you're a junkie, and not have everybody be like, what the F?
What are you talking about? Yeah, sure. Hi. Awkward.
Right.
No, you're right. That would be different. But I think, you have something that says Strum Junkies there, right?
My tip bucket. You know what I mean?
So I mean, at the very least, they can be like, "Oh, that's the name of the band." Okay.
Well, and I try to, particularly at this point, like say, hey, we're the Strum Junkies, and if you're, but I just don't think it flies the same.
It just
way.
doesn't. Oh yeah, it doesn't have the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit the same.
Yeah, we do, a t. That could be a fun like one-off T-shirt. I could do one or two of them that has both logos on the chest and said on top could say what kind of junkie are you, and have both logos on the bottom. Yeah,
pick a junkie, any junkie. Heck yeah, man. No, I just completely zoned out. I had something I was going to say, but I just lost it completely.
That's
like,
okay.
Gone.
That's okay. Where's this picnic we're having?
I don't know. I think Eric's planning it.
Is this is this one of those?
This is the first I've heard of it too.
Hypotheticals. Okay.
This is the first time I've heard of it as well.
Did he refer to this earlier up there?
Yeah, it's in the chat.
He came up with the idea because of the potato salad. Is that what happened? Okay, so it was like finding a reason. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you're trying to figure out like, was this a conversation that's like, is this planned or is this something?
Yeah, it was like, what do I need to do for this event? Where is it? When is it? Do I need to put it on the calendar? You know what I mean?
Where's the calculus lady?
Yeah. I think we should have a fundraiser, and Ryan Seneca should have to shave his head and run around with the chicken or the hot dog on his head, and people paying for rings.
I feel like you're stealing my idea, bud. That was already a fundraiser for you.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to make like it uncomfortable
we can
with
reuse
somebody else. You know what I mean? Like I would like to give. There's got to be a reason for Ryan Seneca to be pressured and ashamed and embarrassed and like have to degrade himself to make it like a real good time. I feel like.
I mean, he hangs out with us. How much lower do you want him to get?
That's reasonable.
I mean,
I do have to start letting off of him too because I mean he's in the Ram Jam.
Yeah, he's on it. I know he's part. Oh, he's Team Ramrod.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cigar Ramrod.
He said in the chat. He said, "If I shave my head, people won't be able to tell us apart." # Team Ramrod. # Ebony and Ivory.
Which one of us is Ebony?
You are. Or wait, he is. You're Ivory. Black truck, white truck.
Oh.
Ebony and Ivory.
Okay. Sorry.
Drive together in perfect harmony.
It just my mind went to a different place, and I was like, I don't think we're a diverse enough.
I don't think we can do that.
I don't think we're a diverse enough couple to be Ebony and Ivory. Yeah. maybe leather and lace.
Ross said littering and
the schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
Oh man.
It's fun. They do be tasting like schnozberries, man. I don't know if you've tried it or not.
I have not. I've not experienced the schnozberries.
No, Eric will schnoz you up.
Yeah, schnozzles. Well, we have a lot of new ones. I was looking at your notes that for the week. I actually looked at them this time.
Hey,
you have a lot of welcome to the group this week.
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't see any of those at all.
I mean, it's the last few weeks. It's been like one or two.
Yeah, and
unless I like build them up because I forget to mention it for a really long time. So like I'd group a bunch of them together. I'd just keep adding them because I realized that I didn't read the other ones last week. So while you're pointing right at it, let's address that elephant in the room and welcome our new members to the Facebook group: Amanda Michelle Wood, Luciano Morales de Azevedo. That's too many names, man.
I think that's why he just leaves it at Morales most of the time.
Well, he must do like it. Well, duh. So like, there's a za in there.
From.
Oh, is that what that means? From. Of.
So like he's, Morales of Azevedo. So that's where like the family would be from.
Okay, so like, here's the thing: like, you get Ernesto Perez Carrillo, right? So they take both of their parents' name.
Right.
Right. So both the mother gets her last name put in there as well. You know what I mean? Or something like that. So I wasn't sure if that was how it was going or if it's like, I'm Robin of Loxley.
I've never actually discussed.
That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, and it's the of wherever that area is.
Sean O'Connor, Brian Anthony. It's like we've got these super Spanish names and then just super white.
Yeah.
Brian Anthony.
Good old
Nathan Grant.
Sean O'Connor there.
Rodney Bias, Shane Barber, and Shane M. Sweeney. So we got all the Shanes. We got different spellings of Shanes.
Yeah, we got. I mean, there's a lot going on there. There's Anyways, But yeah, welcome to the group, guys.
Yeah, so I'm not ready to hit the button this minute. Like, we've definitely got 10 more minutes left in us, I think. But I will invite you to browse further down and look at next week's, because we didn't have a meeting today this week to agree to it. So I took a look at where we were going and kind of predicted what we're going to do for the Cigar of the Week next week. So you'll have to look and tell me yes or no before we actually announce it, and start misleading the kids at home, which we do from time to time. You know what I mean?
For next week's Cigar, I think that's what we touched on it when you stopped in on Monday or Tuesday, or Tuesday or Wednesday.
I had a different one in the cigar record that we were talking about earlier. So I'm just going to say it now. It's fine. We don't have to wait for the actual outro. So, like, next week, we're going to do the La Aroma de Cuba Mi Amor, which is going to be from a Leaning House in that space on the record. And it's probably just because it was, something we were
had to
plugging
move
in
things
what was
around.
coming.
Yeah.
So we have Leaf by Oscar Sumatra, which is, unless something happens, going to be the next Just a Tip cigar. So I forwarded that
we bumped
to the week
so that
after.
we could put the Cinco de Mayo this week. That's what happened.
Right. And so it changed everything up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I've got it adjusted to where we're going to do the La Aroma next week, and then the Leaf by Oscar Sumatra. Now, that's something that could change too, because that show is going to be May 19th. Like we talked about, we're going to actually give you guys some details about the Cigar Box Guitar Festival in June. And we'll have Dave and Louie on to talk about it. Hopefully we get Louie to bring in one of his Cigar Box guitars and show the kids that are out of town that haven't got a chance to take a look at them and stuff. Go through some of those details. But it's also possible that Dave may want to bring a stick to feature on that show because of the fact that he'll be here.
He's on the show.
Right. So that could be a factor, and it could change for that reason.
Yeah.
But if it's not that week, the Sumatra will get pushed probably to the week following.
Yeah.
Guests do have an impact on what we end up smoking and kind of
100%
our plans. I just still think it's impressive that we have any plans at all.
We what?
That we have any plans at all for future episodes.
Just something.
It used to just be we're winging it. We used to be so hard trying to just be like, by the end of the show,
what do we have?
We'd be sitting there like ready to hit the record button and be like, "Hey, what are we gonna smoke next week?"
I don't know. Ask me in a little bit, and then I forget about it completely, and
then we just reach the point at the end of the show and go, "We don't know."
Yeah, we'll tell you guys when we start that.
Yeah, look on the Facebook group, and then we never tell you there either.
Yeah, we just completely neglect you.
Pretty much.
We're all out of love.
Just dropping balls everywhere,
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Hey, man, I didn't make it dirty. If you did, it's on you.
I didn't make it dirty. I
saw your eyes.
I was just looking at the cellar. That's all. Just checking the cellophane out.
They call me Yellow Cello.
What?
Yeah, Yellow Cello.
Oh.
Mellow Yellow.
Mellow.
As a song.
Yellow. Oh,
They call me Mellow Yellow.
Yeah, I've never heard that one.
It's a song.
Oh, okay, I believe you.
I may not have hit the melodical accuracy of the origin of the song.
No, you could sing it with any melody. I would not have heard it.
That's fair.
That's not striking a chord there. I'm not getting it on that one at all. So you're still going back at it. Mine crushed mine. Oops.
No.
Oh, you're back at. Gotcha.
Yeah, this is back to the Dino.
Back in the saddle again. I was gonna say because I don't normally smoke that much faster than you.
No, I was basically wrapped up on the other one, so I decided to go back to my
transition,
my pre-workout, as it were.
Yes, I like it.
Yeah, that'd be a good name for cigar wine too.
Pre-workout.
I'll always be having these good ideas.
Just going after it. Yeah. I like. What was your one last week? And Luciano was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's trademarked already." And then he just like rolled past you, and I got a nice chuckle out of it. I was like, "Oh, he's going. He's embracing it. Got it."
Anybody that loved the show last week's not going to be a big fan of this one. I mean, I can't say that's true. Actually, when Jason's not here, we do have a tendency to get on a cigar-related topic and kind of hit it for a little
bit better, yeah.
Yeah, whereas like normally it's just goofery, which I appreciate.
Tomfoolery, yeah.
Dumb effery.
Yeah.
But like last week, man, I tried to pull Luciano down in the mud, and he
was not having it.
He would just walk on water over top of it. He took that high road every time, and man, he very sockeye in terms of like you just be like, all right, what are your thoughts on the color red? 20 minutes later, and it's all good content.
Yeah, it's
just
so fantastic.
Hard to steer.
Yeah, yeah, it was. I enjoyed the show last week. I like that kind of. But I'm a nerd. I want the
too,
information. Like with him being here, I was just like geeked out over the fact that I can ask him anything, and he has that memory that's photographic. Basically, you can tell like he just closes his eyes for a second, and he's like, okay, he's hitting this reference sheet.
That's the thing about think about what are your strongest memories. Your strongest memories are attached to smell, right?
Yeah.
You smell something, it takes you back to that place you were at. Like when you get out, you're going to smell that rain on the hot road in the summer.
It's going to take you to a memory.
To wherever it was. And with that condition that he has, right? Like that's everything for him.
Yeah.
So like you have, if all of his senses are kind of entangled, I imagine he has strong memory responses to all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And so he's just going to grab onto it and go. And that's why I didn't try to steer too much, is because I enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, letting him go his direction.
But I like being the kind of show where we can have a super intense, intellectually stimulating conversation where we can kind of go like, hey, we're not just like rodeo clowns trying to mess with the bull.
Yeah, we can do both.
Yeah. Like we can step into the ring and keep up with people that know what they're doing and engage in those conversations and help to potentially educate our guys. But we just don't want that to be our primary role, because there's people that are better at it than us. Right. So we don't, like we're never going to be the best at doing that. So let's just be the best at what we do, which is being dumb and doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah, just joking around, having fun, jack of all trades kind of thing.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the pre-workout cigar band, that's just to be the cigars line is going to be pre-workout, and it's just going to be Quagmire from the episode where he discovers the internet porn.
Oh yeah,
and he has the one giant arm and the one small arm, and it's going to be called pre-workout, and he's going to have one big arm. Yeah. And then you got to have like the post workout too. I guess you could have, because that sounds like the better time to smoke a cigar.
Is after,
especially the workout that I'm referring to.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. I know.
I get that.
And they called it nicotine love.
That's right.
No, dude. I'm trying to think when would be better to smoke a cigar. I know it's because I ride the bike, and I'm like, that's a lot of cardio. Yeah. Both would be good.
I tried smoking a cigar on a bike once. It did not work out well. A stationary bike might have been okay if I wasn't pedaling, but on an active bike, like cruising, I was using the throttle. This is a couple years ago. The first time I rode my mother-in-law's electric bike, and it's bad because we were talking about bad burns earlier.
Oh yeah,
dude, my cigar was still this long, but it was burned down to here. Except for it was still out to here too. Like it looked like a javelin.
Yeah.
It was, that wind burned that wrapper so fast.
That's when I rode motorcycles. We'd smoke cigarettes on them, and same thing. You'd have to like hold it a certain way, and like you had to learn where that spot was on your bike that you get away with it. Because if not, it'd just be like half the cigarette would be like trashed out.
I imagine like the cartoon, whenever like the cartoon guy smokes a cigarette, it's just the whole thing in one puff.
It's not just far off of that.
And toss it.
Yep.
It got one puff out of that stick. Yeah.
Done. Nah, I can't imagine trying to ride a bicycle with a cigar, especially because like I ride with drop bars, so like I'm down, so it'd be horrible.
You know what's interesting is the Cinco de Mayo has had a drastic effect on this cigar. It's almost giving it like a fire cured taste to it. Like not quite that, but like I'm getting like maybe you're getting in my head too with the smoker talk, but I don't think so. I think I tasted on this stick just the smoking the two of them side by side. It's kind of giving this like a smoky hickory kind of type of flavor to it.
Do you think it could be because that has a salty essence to it? The Cinco has the salty essence. Do you think that that's taken the relight and giving you that smokiness from the relight? Because that cigar did sit for, hour and a half?
I don't think so. And the reason is because it's somewhere between my mouth palate and my nasal and retro.
Yeah.
It's like somewhere in the back there where I don't think that saltiness that I think that you're getting more from contacting the tobacco with your lips and your tongue. You know what I mean? Versus an actual salt component of the smoke.
Yeah.
I think that's generally where it comes. I don't, but it could be. I think it's a transition there, and yeah, you could actually be onto something.
Because salt doesn't have a smell, at all, which is one of its unique characteristics.
Somebody's never heard of smelling salts.
Well, have you ever used them? It's different.
You smell seawater. Yeah.
You hammer that much ammonia in your nose, good for you, but you're out of your mind. Oh, we work with ammonia a lot at the chemical plant, and just the thought of smelling salts.
Yeah.
And someone choosing to do that after being hit with like a cloud of anhydrous. No, thank you. I'm good. I choose life.
You ever watch when like one of it wasn't Joe Rogan. It's what is it, the Bear and Cub or whatever?
Yeah, Two Bears in a Cave or something.
Yeah. Which is Bert Kreischer and what's the other guy's
Tom Segura.
Yeah, and they're like, let's try the smelling salt on the show. And then what's the dude, the popular guy with the mullet?
Yeah.
Did that dude used to be like a televangelist's son or something, and used to be like a Bible? I'm pretty sure that like when he was young, he was like in the spotlight for being a Bible thumper, and now he is like
not at all.
He's Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
Right? He's redneck Charlie Sheen. Dude, he is the wild thing.
Yeah.
He even has the hair.
Yeah, it's hysterical. Yeah, Theo Vaughn, right? That's who we're talking about? Yeah.
I believe he used to be something like that. I've actually got to look it up.
That'd be awesome.
I got to look before the show's over. So, like, why don't you talk a little bit about what Just the Tip has coming up for events?
Hold on, before you get off of the track completely, what was the reason you were talking about Theo Vaughn, Bert Kreischer, and Tom Segura?
Because they all did the smelling salts.
And how'd it go?
Not well. The funny thing is, Bert and Tom not good. Theo was like, yeah,
let's go.
Right? Like that's how Charlie Sheen he is. It's like he liked it.
He's like, oh, can I have another? Yeah. He's one of those. It's gonna be what was the
Robin
Williams
you're like,
reference?
all right, you might have a problem, bro. What reference?
Robin Williams. What did he say? Keith Richards is over here snorting anthrax.
Yeah.
Theo Vaughn, same way. No, as far as events we got coming up this month, we've got the PACC trivia night will be this coming Tuesday. And then from there, we'll have the following week. I don't have the dates in front of me. The following week is going to be the chess tournament. So, we've got May the 7th will be trivia night. May the 14th will be the chess tournament. And then on the 28th will be our karaoke. And then on the 26th, we're going to be doing something with Liberty Pool. I'm not sure if it's going to be here or there yet. That's a detail we're trying to hash out because of our wonderful Pennsylvania weather. We don't know if it's going to be pouring down rain, snowing, or 150 degrees. So not sure where we're going to be on that one. And then, of course, today we have Cinco de Mayo. We've got Big Spirits Distillery coming in, and we'll be doing a walking taco bar. So a bunch of little onesie twosie stuff this month. Next month in July, I think we're going to have fairly busy time with. So curious to see what all we come up with for that.
I think I think there's just a kid that was like a Southern kid that looked so much and sounded so much like him
that it led you there.
Was Bible thumpery, was the child prodigy televangelist that just looked very, very similar.
Yeah.
Because I was like, yo, that's wild that this is where he ended up now. Like he was like one of the Amish that go away for the Ramadan and was like, nope, I'm never coming back. I'm just gonna full hard do this
for Ramadan.
I don't know what it's called. What is it?
Not Ramadan.
Ramadan Ding Dong.
No, what's that? What's it called? Rumspringa.
Here's the nice thing about the Amish: you can't offend them on a podcast, because they're not allowed to listen to them.
Yeah, and if they do, that's on them.
That's right. So like that's like actually, I think we found a loophole. There's somebody that we can,
Yeah, but in today's day and age, somebody else would be offended for them. So
there'll for sure be like there's that white lady sitting at home with her cats just getting offended for all the people that are not actually offended.
We love her.
You ever see the video of the guy walking around in like this white dude in like South Texas or whatever, walking around in the ridiculous Mexican style like poncho and hat.
No.
That it's like, oh man, it's like if somebody was going to dress up as a Mexican on Krusty, the Krusty show.
Yeah. Just as ridiculous as he could be.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And so like he goes around to a bunch of white people asking, "Is my outfit offensive?" And he's got like a really bad fake mustache on too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all the white people are like, "Oh yeah, it's super offensive, super offensive." And then he goes like across the border into Mexico, and he's asking all the Mexicans, he's like, "Do you think my outfit's offensive?" He's like, "No, you look amazing, man. Like you look awesome." Everyone's like, "You look awesome.
You're having
you
fun."
look great." Yeah, like it's like, and it was a nice like little spotlight on like maybe y'all need to just back
Maybe
off
worry
a little
about
bit,
your
chill
stuff.
out.
Don't worry
Yeah.
about everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nah, dude. Can't. I'm gonna find that video because that'll be fun.
Oh, dude, it's a fantastic time. So before we go, the karaoke. When's the next one?
It's the 28th, I believe.
What day of the week is that?
Tuesday.
Dude, can we get a Wednesday in the rotation? Tuesday's never gonna happen.
Last Tuesday of the month.
What? Why? Why does it have to be Tuesday? Why can't?
Because I'm already busy other days.
Monday
So
and
Tuesdays,
Wednesday and Thursday like you couldn't. It's a one weekday a month. There's no other slow days that could.
I mean, I'm working on another karaoke, but as far as that, like we focus on Tuesdays because if not, it's very slow.
Is Tuesday the day that's the slowest?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, significantly lower than
So
the rest.
that's the one. Has it been picking up business?
Oh
for
yeah,
you at
everything's
all?
been moving along, moving up, I guess. Slowly. I mean, no complaints as to where we're going.
Because like I'd bring a crew if I could come, but I can't. Yeah, if Tuesday's your day, it's your day.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna have to do is, man, I'm just gonna have to the next time you do it, Tuesday the 28th. Let's see if I can figure out what my availability is for my work schedule.
So you can spot it.
If my work schedule, let's see, Tuesday the 28th, I go back to it, so I'll be day late. So theoretically, I could do that one. So I'll see if I could do Strum Junkies practice on Thursday that day. Usually Nick's available on Thursdays.
Yeah,
too,
I remember you said like Tuesdays are.
So we
tough.
could probably move one every once in a while so that I could get in here and
yeah, because
kill some cats.
I mean, eventually we are going to have a second karaoke night because the one we have goes so well. As far as the Tuesday events go, that's the one that actually like has people show up for it. You know, the other ones, people are here, like chess tournament. There's usually 5 or 6 guys, stuff like that.
Well, maybe what we should do is we just have our practices here, and just Nick can play whatever anybody wants to sing, and they can come up and sing while Nick plays.
Just get after it.
And keep your skills sharper, Nick.
There you go. Yeah.
Like, all right, Britney Spears.
Live action karaoke.
Oh, yeah.
Hiya.
Dude, I'll show up in a gi.
Just going full into it.
Yeah, this is Scottish style. Nothing underneath.
No, you won't. Yeah, I would say there's a guy that comes for karaoke every month, and he comes in with a kilt every single time. This guy has like decorative kilts too. He's got like a collection. Apparently,
Are they traditional?
Some of them are. But yeah,
because there's like natural accoutrements to that, right? Like you have all
the
of
satchel and all that stuff.
Yeah, I always forget the word for it whenever you need it, which is ironic because I actually have one. So it is sporan. It's called your sporan.
Okay.
That's the pouch that hangs there, and sometimes they're pelts, sometimes they're leather, and they're held by a chain to a belt on the back. And the coolest thing is they make flasks that are round that fit in that.
That fit in there.
So that's where you get your drink from.
You're prepared.
You know what I mean, and sometimes you get like the little rabbit tail style things that hang off. We'll have their little pellets hanging from.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The little.
Yeah, so the Scottish, they know how to accessorize, man.
They know how to accessorize.
They got all kinds of like displayed dead animals on them and stuff.
Yeah, this guy was telling me he's like, if he's not riding his motorcycle, he's in a kilt. So like, it's the only time he doesn't wear a kilt.
That's good. Well, I mean,
he has a good reason.
That's good.
Yeah,
because otherwise it'd be like, hey man, you want to take it for a spin? Not that one. No.
Just riding and just. Poof,
there's just like a T-shaped indentation in the seat all the time. That's the episode I weren't Quackfire is left-handed. I just jumped back into the live, and I don't think I'm live anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
did you accidentally kill the live?
No.
Oh, I thought you.
No, I closed out Facebook. I got out of Facebook to look at something else for a minute on here, and so whenever I came back in, sometimes it's not always live. You have to like refresh.
Gotcha.
It's not that it's not streaming. It's just that I may have come back in to an earlier part of the show.
Yeah,
so
I gotcha.
wasn't sure if I was still caught up or not with it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't up with the comments. The comments were not caught up.
Yeah, I missed the last couple as well. I'm not sure. The Beatles, is that the Mellow Yellow song?
Yeah.
Seneca said final third of the cigar is waking up. I agree. The final third is where you really get after it.
It's Evanescence.
And then he said that was the episode where he learned that Quagmire's left-handed.
Right. That was the comment that I was looking at that you were.
Yeah.
For sure, Z's. So, final thoughts. Anything else to put out there to the kiddies at home?
Nah, man.
Like before we roll on.
Have a good week. Enjoy the weather.
Make sure you guys do us a favor. We are available on all of the podcast platforms. We're available on YouTube. If you're not sure where you could get us, you can always go to the cigarjunkies.com and you can find the podcast. You can find YouTube. You can find our T-shirt merchandise. You can find the ability to donate to Dave and Patty to help them through their hardships that they're going through. Do us a favor, support Cigars for Warriors, Cigar Rates of America, all those wonderful organizations. As we said earlier, you can hang out with us next week, just like you do every Sunday morning live at 9:30 on the Cigar Junkies Facebook group. We are going to be smoking the La Aroma de Cuba Mi Amor. So come grab a stick, hang out with us, and we'll have another wonderful Sunday where I can drink.
Yay! Salud.